Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Adarsh Anand on the other side. We are again back in the India Academy's program. So let me tell you that India Academy is being set up with the purpose of grassroots mobilization of teachers and academicians in all subject areas with the goal of strengthening India's education system. So today we are here with Professor Shushma Mishra ji as the guest, and the title of today's talk, as we know, is Community and Education. Today's talk will explore a vital question. How can we cultivate happy, fulfilled lives within our communities? So let me, before handling the platform to Professor Shushma ji, let me tell you all about her. So it is our privilege to welcome Professor Shushma Mishra, a distinguished academician and renowned educationalist. She is a retired professor from the Department of B.Ed at Sri Jay Narayan Mishra PG College, Lucknow. She has received the prestigious Indira Gandhi National NSS Award from the President of India in 2013. A prolific researcher, she has presented over 25 papers in international and national seminars and conferences. Professor Mishra has edited 3 books and authored a book on environmental education. She has delivered over 100 lectures at national and international conferences. Her contributions to education have been recognized with several state and national awards. Professor Mishra has served as NSS program coordinator for University of Lucknow and SVEP coordinator, Lucknow district. Namaste, Professor Mishra ji. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Anand, for the introduction. Mr. Vishwajit, Mr. Anand, and all the viewers, very good morning to all of you. And today we'll be seeing the community and education, how they are related to each other. Because we all know very well that education modifies behavior. It brings desirable changes in the child's behavior. In past, especially in British period, education of the child meant filling up a child's mind with knowledge and lot of related stuff. He had to memorize certain principles and facts, and it was considered quite sufficient for his education. But in present time, education is not taken as just simple information. Today, education is considered to be concerned with the present scenario of society and individual. The aim of education is to help growth and development of a child right from the early stages of his life. For the purpose of fitting the child into the life in society, socializing process is fostered by family and community, and by introduction of educational psychology in the field of education. Now education is not just considered just as hard labor, it is a joyous process now. The child feel happy learning new things. Modern education aims at the harmonious development of personality of child. Family, school, community, teachers create such a situation that personality of child can be developed freely and fully. There should not be any repression, suppression, complexes in the child. This is the new interpretation to the meaning of education. In my view, there are 4 significant factors which gives meaning to the education. First thing, education means we learn something. Anything we learn new, any new experience is termed as education. Second important thing is adjustment. To learn adjustment, we have to fit in the surrounding and environment. Life is all about adjustment, and if you adjust well, you are successful, and everywhere. Otherwise, your life will become hell. Since the child is born and till death, we know we have to adjust at every situation, every relation, school, community, job, everywhere we have to adjust well. So if we know adjustment better, then our life can be very successful. Lamarck also said, he said the natural law of natural selection means nature selects those who adjust according to the nature. And live example of the natural selection is dinosaur. They could not adjust to the changing surrounding and they disappeared from the earth. Third thing is struggle for existence. Everything we teach, all competition, studies, all our study program, training program, that is all preparing us for the struggle of the life. So education must be able to prepare a student for the struggle of the life. Here also the Darwin's law of struggle of existence applies. He also says that if you struggle for existence and you win over it, then only you can survive. He has given the example of giraffe, how he could survive when there was no leaves to on the ground to eat. So his neck became long and he could survive. And the most important and the last one is maintaining good interpersonal relationship. Our education is incomplete if we are not trained to maintain good interpersonal relationship. One should be emotionally intelligent. It is only interpersonal relationship which is ultimately going to give them happiness in their life. And in my views, happiness is the utmost important entity needed to lead our life. Whenever we see cases of depression, suicide, anxiety, separation in family, behavioral problem, especially in adolescents and children, root cause is always some sort of missing interpersonal relationship somewhere. Day before yesterday, a boy of class 8th committed suicide in Chinat area of Lucknow. So I was wondering what provoked the class 8th student to for the suicide. Had he been the good interpersonal relation with the family, with the friends, the child could be saved. Because due to the lack of interpersonal relation, we people are generally in lot of stress and they are not sharing it with anybody. In villages, you will see very few depression and anxiety problems, societal problem, because people interact freely with each other and they share their thoughts. In metro city, this problem is more arising. First interaction in the life of child is with the family members. Family is looking after economic function, religious function, socio-economic function, social control, social norms, social values, transmission of culture, entertainment, use of leisure time, character building, building of self-esteem, etc. To sum up all the educational function of the child. Emotional, intellectual, social development, adjustment, cultural belief, religion, spirituality, creativity, career, aesthetic development, everything takes place in the family. And family is building block of the community. All these norms, values, family derive from the community they live in. So directly or indirectly, a community has a very large impact on the personality of any individual. But nowadays, it is a bitter fact that due to our educational setup and family setup, due to career consciousness, due to over expectation from the children, the students are not directly interacting with the community as such. They are confined to their family member and very few relatives who come to their home. In many family nowadays, even children don't want to interact much with the guest, family friends and relative who visit at home. They are busy in their own world of mobile, internet and whatnot. Larger involvement of the children with the community is missing almost everywhere. Of course, few exceptions may be there. Hence, they don't get to know the community well in which they have to lead their life. And when they come to the actual life situation, they are surprised to see the scenario of the community they have to face. This isolation is causing a lot of behavioral problem. Every profession is related to development of community. Community and individual cannot be separated. Everyone wants to have a profession which is respected in the community, and community always respect those people who are useful for the community. Respect in community is also great source for the happiness of the individual. And ultimately, our aim of life is to get happiness. If person is not happy, anything he achieves has no meaning for the person. So while talking about happiness, I would like to tell you, when people from all around the world was asked what is utmost important for them, happiness is always on the top of the list. Everyone want to be happy first. And it is, if you acquire more money, happiness is all, then you acquire more health. That is, nobody can want to acquire money or health at the cost of happiness. And it is seen income is not directly correlated with the happiness. Only in case of very poor people or in very poor country, happiness may be related to financial status. But as your financial status increases, as your level of income increases, correlation between happiness and income is reduced. And if you take the health aspect, doctor's report, hospital visit, they are very weakly associated with the happiness. I think person's own evaluation of his health or her health tends to correlate more strongly with the happiness. Surprisingly, in some cases, even people with very serious illness, they reported above normal on the scores of happiness. And now University of Columbia is already running a course on the human happiness, and now many Indian universities are also running courses for the happiness and giving degree in these courses. Researchers working in this field have found that social relations and interpersonal relation are most important factor for a person to be happy. Traveling habits, seeing different places, meeting different people, interaction with different people is a key factor in happiness. Experience makes a person happy. So the easiest way to be happy is to interact with the community you live in. Then how do we interact with the family? With the community? In higher education, I think you have heard the name of National Service Scheme or not. I would like to tell you, National Service Scheme is such a scheme which gives ample opportunity to students who are called NSS volunteer, who opt for the NSS, to interact more and more with community. NSS was initiated by Ministry of Sports and Youth Affairs in collaboration of state government. It is running in most of the government-run universities in India. It started in the birth centenary year of Mahatma Gandhi on 24th September 1969 with the objective of personality development of youth through community service. Here, we have to keep in mind, students are going to work in the community, but our purpose is personality development of a student. Because any miraculous change, if they can bring in the community, it's good. But it's not their duty to bring the miraculous change in community. For that, government setup is there. They are only helping. And our purpose is to improve personality of our student. There may be lot of ways to improve personality. You must be knowing that everyone knows nowadays students are involved in so many personality development courses. They join communication classes, language classes, then so many classes to develop personality. Here, community involvement is one of the way to develop the personality of the student in NSS. In this scheme, undergraduate students are involved in various activities like social awareness on current issues, any issue we can take, which is pertinent to the locality or that area, or it is in general common to the country. Nationalism, patriotism, everything is included. Nothing is excluded from the NSS, such as environmental issue, health issue, women and child issue, awakening villagers and downtrodden, special camps like National Integration Camp, Adventure Camp, Mega Summer Camp, Republic Day Parade Camp, Pre-Republic Day Parade camps are organized for personality development of a student. Camp activities consist of various physical, mental, social, cultural activities. Students are involved in group activities, discussion, brainstorming activities, etc. Whole year the normal activities are going on and special activities are taken up in the special camps, which is of 10 year or 7 years duration, and in different state, different types of camps are organized. They are expected to go to community for social service activities. Community provide first-hand knowledge of living conditions of masses to NSS volunteer, and thus process of mutual learning starts. Interaction of community with the students and teachers on one hand enriches the personality of a student volunteer, and on the other hand help the community to improve the living condition. I was NSS coordinator for 5 years in Lucknow University, and before that, NSS program officer for 11 years in my college. So we have attended several national integration camp, adventure camp. First adventure camp of UP and Uttaranchal, I took to Atal Bihari Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, which is situated in the Manali. Then Pre-Republic Parade Camp at Hisar and RD Parade Camp at New Delhi, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. Lot of work was done for voter awareness under SWEEP. SWEEP is systematic voter electoral educational participation program. So in SWEEP, we have organized mock poll also, demonstration of the poll. For this, the election officer gave us the EVM machine also. Everything was demonstrated. Plantation, voluntary blood donation, pulse polio drive, adult education, legal aids to girls, self defense for girls, environmental education, water conservation, river cleaning, and so many fields. Actually, if suppose I have 40 college in the university associated, college can take up their own theme on which they want to work. And we cannot limit NSS activity to a particular field that they will be working. Only condition is they have to interact with the community on the needs of community. Whatever is the needs, that need is taken up. So for this, students were given responsibility. The resources are very limited in India. In every university, in the college, we scarcity of teachers. Workers and class fourth worker were very few. So we were used to train students for doing those jobs also. Where they had to live, to cook their food, to clean utensil, everything means no work was, they were not hesitating to do any work, and they were enjoying each and every work of the NSS. And they learned the reporting and how to make the register, how to keep the records. Everything was done by the students. They got good training and good experience through these camps. The students were divided in the groups, and some absentees are always there. So groups were made in such a manner that some absentees are placed in all the groups, so that it doesn't happen that one group leader is having all the absentees in their group, and other is having all the students who are regular. So it was divided in a uniform manner, and those who were absent, the students were used to tackle them how to go ahead. So impact of community interaction I found on major personality traits of the students. So I have listed down some traits which were found to be increased in student after the NSS activities. Social trait like sociability, friendliness, social service and sensitivity, kindness, patience, sympathy, empathy, adjustment, cooperation, extrovertness, harmony, experimenting. Then some emotional traits also got developed in the students, that is high ambition, purposefulness. Everything can be explained in detail how it developed, but I think we have time constraint, so we cannot take them one by one. I'm telling you the names, and if you want to ask anything, how it changed, you can ask me in the question answer session. So in emotional trait, we are talking about emotional traits, that is high ambition, purposefulness, satisfaction, optimistic, away from anger, away from hatred, emotional stability, free from jealousy, kindness, firm determination, relaxed personality, intuitive, modest, realistic, adaptable, cheerful. Then on moral grounds, we could see them high moral character building, honesty, punctuality, nationalism, brotherhood, loyalty, endurance, belief in destiny, faith in God, trustfulness, strong-willed, calm personality, and morality. On mental traits also, we found to increase observation power and enhancement of intelligence level, although intelligence level doesn't enhance as such. If you talk about IQ, it will not increase at this age, but the intellect which they were using to work in their routine work, that was seen to increase. Thoughtfulness, logical reasoning, positive thought process, expression power, curiosity, positive attitude, creativity, thoughtfulness. Some physical traits were also found to increase, like soft voice, routine, controlled physical actions, awareness for good health, and personal grooming. Apart from this, we were given from the state government a model integration camp. I just told you national integration camp in NSS. So this national integration camp is organized at the national level, and generally students from 20 states come in the national integration camps. So similar type of camp was given to me by the state government to organize in UP. So there I have invited 200 volunteers from 13 state universities of UP and around 20 teachers. So theme was life skill. It was based on development of life skill. So list of life skill is too long. So now this was the question, which life skill we have to take. So for the purpose of study, 10 life skill we have taken from the facilitator's manual of enhancing life skill, which was developed by Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Youth Development. This is an autonomous organization of Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Shri Perumbudur, Chennai. So 10 life skill which we have taken were self-awareness, that is reorganization of self, our weakness, strength, empathy, ability to be sensitive to another person's situation, effective communication, ability to express verbal and non-verbal in a way that are culturally acceptable, interpersonal relations, ability to establish positive relationship with the people we interact with, then creative thinking, ability to generate new idea by combining, changing, on reapplying existing ideas, critical thinking, that is ability to analyze information and experiences in an objective manner, decision making, ability to choose from varied option available, keeping in mind the positive or negative consequences of each option. Problem solving, ability to deal with problems in our lives in a constructive manner. Coping with stress, ability to reorganize the source of stress, its physical and emotional effect, acting in a way to control level of stress. And coping of emotions, ability to know how emotions influence behavior and being able to respond to emotions appropriately. This paper I presented in Spain, Valencia, and this paper was funded by University Grants Commission, and participants from 65 countries were there. I was the only participant in India that time in Spain. Results were very encouraging. All the 10 life skills showed enhancement in the score of skill development. These reveals that such camps helps student in developing life skill. All the life skill which had lower score, they were reduced. Lower score were reduced means lower score were increased after attending the camp. Coping of stress, emotion, effective communication still, they were most affected. And result were very encouraging. Mostly students were in the camp were from rural background, so their family level of education may be low. Hence, initially they did not show much score on the coping of stress, emotion, and effective communication. But after the camp with proper guideline, they showed improvement in their skill. And one paper, we are talking about personality development of a student, but in social service, in community program, teachers also interact with the community. So person is a person, maybe student or teacher. It leaves positive impact on the teachers also. I thought we are working for the personality development of student. Let me also find out whether it is leaving some impact on the teachers also. So I did a study for the teachers also, because in fact impact of teachers personality on the tender minds and heart of any individual is everlasting. Good teacher has a capacity to mold a child's personality tremendously. Hence efforts are made since beginning to develop good teachers in each and every country as per the requirement. Still process of refinement of teachers personality is going on. Teachers and students have to live in community Hence, community-based programs are considered of great influence, and some traits of personality of teacher was found to be affected by community program. So second paper I prepared on the teacher's personality development through community program. This was also funded by UGC, and I presented this paper in Las Vegas in USA. I think in 2016 or 15. So personality traits which were taken for the study, I am just naming them. That is passion, enthusiasm and willingness for the work profile, pragmatism, willingness to compromise, knowledge of which battles are winnable and when to apply, dedication to work with full capacity till the goal is reached, willingness to take risk. Successful educators are willing to shake up the status quo to achieve the goal. Patience, students need reminder after reminder. Effective teacher needs patience, and patience is required to deal with the system and families. Flexibility and creativity to deal with unexpected changes and turns, must have new ideas in different situations. Respect for all. Teacher, respect for every student, family, community, and accepting individual differences. A good teacher creates an environment of respect in a natural way. Then high energy level, students respond to teachers with high energy level. They always like the teacher who are energy level is quite high. Sense of humor, teacher must have a sense of humor. Learning must be a fun. Good teacher must remain cheerful in negative circumstances. And communication skill, if a teacher can effectively communicate with the student, family and community, the more effective the teaching will be. Organizing capacity, teacher must be a good organizer, manager with preparedness and a strong relationship with everybody. Leadership, and he must be able to lead students to work in a group. So to undertake the study, I have taken around 100 teachers, about 100 teachers, out of which 90 were finally selected because in some forms were incomplete or some problem was there. So the teachers were those who had completed 1 or 2 years in NSS, and they had organized special camps also in NSS, and they have attended orientation program also for NSS program officers. They were taken for the study. Before, the parallel form were made of the 2 questionnaires. It was a self-made tool, and 1 form was given before joining NSS and 1 form was given after joining NSS. It was a long process. So results were again very much encouraging. All the personality traits shows enhancement in their scores after exposure to community-based program. Pragmatism and patience were the personality trait which was most affected by the community engagement. Passion, dedication, flexibility, creativity, all these showed enhancement, but pragmatism and patience were most affected by this. So from this, we can conclude that community engagement is very important in the life personality of a student. Other the experience of the camp like National Integration Adventure Camp, RD camp, I would like to share one experience of our Republic Day Parade camp. It was in the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, New Delhi, and it was for 1 month from 1st January to 31st of January. So initially, when students for all 15 regions, NSS is divided in 15 regions. The regions are on the name of the cities, like Lucknow region has UP and Uttaranchal. Ahmedabad region has Gujarat. Pune region has Maharashtra and Goa. Means 1 union territory, 1 state, and 2 small states are given to 1 region. So from all 15 regions, students were there. Initially, they were reluctant to talk to each other because when they come from Assam, South India, North India, some students are facing language problem. Some are from the local languages who do not know even the English is not very good. So there was difficulty in communicating. So they were hesitant in talking to each other. So what the organizers did, that 1 room was there for the 6 students. They picked all 6 students from different states and put them in a room. nobody from one state was allowed to stay in a room. And they were asked to prepare cultural program also. It may be song, it may be mimicry, it may be anything. And they did it wonderfully. And when last day they were about to leave, we were, what you cannot imagine what we were doing. They were crying, literally holding each other. And our job is to means keep them separate and put them into their vehicles. It was very difficult to send them back. And they were so much affectionate, and still some students are interacting with each other. They are in touch with each other. So this community interaction, what they do, whoever teacher, whoever students goes for the community program, they feel very close to that particular teacher, to the students who went with the community. And still some students are in touch with the community. Their interpersonal relation to a great extent. After going from the camp, some of the parents came to us that our children are cooking food for us. They are taking good care of us after the camp, because they were trained in the, even the boys used to cook the food. So they did it after reaching home for their mothers also. So their level of confidence increases, communication increases, their humor increases. And some more important fact I want to tell you about these students: some of them have set up their NGOs, and they are working in the field of social work. They are working, so they are doing social work very honestly. Sometimes they call us also, and they enjoy working in the society, and they are doing lot of good work in very few, although in the number. But even if in few students we can create social sensitivity, then that is also a great work. And many students have become sensitive towards society, and they are playing their role at their place, wherever they are placed at their respective places. They are working for the community. And for the blood donation, many students come for the forward for blood donation and platelet donation whenever we give them a call. Still they have a feeling, because so many myths related to voluntary blood donation have been removed in the training camps and camps with the students. So now they have knowledge that it is not harmful, it is actually beneficial for the person if they can safely donate the blood. And in the situation, when they saw the situation of the villages, some students have taken a government job. They were so much touched that we should reach at some places so that we can do something for them. So some students have taken government job, and they are working in this field. And few are teachers and NSS activities they are doing right now. Some are connected with the friends. So this is all about. And now I want to, if you want to have any interaction, or if you want some more experience, because lot of activities, lot of experience I have gained through NSS. I have roamed around all South India, all half of the India. I have roamed around with my students in the camps.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji, for enlightening us. So, since there was a talk of about skill development, so Sushma ji, what are your assessments about the national education policy? If you can, since this India Academy is based on education, so what are your views? Will it really help, or are there many loopholes that needs to be filled?
See, theoretically it is very good, but implementation is very difficult. Like
Okay,
you have, I have a school cluster about that I have seen in the policy. So many subjects are introduced, and we don't have those that much teachers in the schools. Like you have given all the hobby classes, all the music and all whatnot is given, because we should think on the practical ground. I think if slowly and gradually subjects are increased, teachers are increased, then only it can be done. Because school cluster, they are what they want, that one school cluster will be formed by 10 or 15 schools. The principal will divide the duty to the teachers, where sometime they will go to this school, sometime they will go to that school, sometime. Few things are good, but I am talking about the problems which are going to arise from school cluster. So these teachers are so much heavily loaded that if a teacher is given responsibility of many school, so it will not be taken care of, that school should be very close, because if the teacher goes uh, one day in one school, other day in another school, and I know there will be more than 7 schools, so in one day he may have to go to 2 school, so the distance should not take much of the time. So that I am worried about, whether these many subjects, how they will be taken up, because in B.Ed we have so many hobby classes, so many classes, but we are always short of teachers. Initially when I joined my college, I was a science teacher. I was given biology, mathematics both, because I had mathematics in BSc and biology in intermediate. So I was teaching 3 subjects. Still in the school colleges, one teacher who is for commerce, he is taking Hindi, he is taking so civics, and he is taking so much thing. So first of all, teachers must be provided, because without teacher, no scheme can be successful. If you may have ample teachers, that is good, they will be doing something else for the students, but you should have proper teachers for a particular whatever hobby classes you have kept. This is the major scarcity in education system. And now, practically speaking, semester system is there in the university. Admission is very late. This semester system, most of the time admission and only exam. There is hardly any time left to complete the courses. Means if the punctuality is not maintained, if the time schedule is not followed, then everything is going to collapse. Because plan is very good, but it should be time bound and time should be strictly followed. Educational calendar which is made, it should be followed. There should be no compromise. If exam has to finish in April or May, it must finish in April or May. Every time in summer vacation, exams are going on. When you do not know in which state when you will have admission. Now in UP, exams are going on. In some other state, admissions are going on. So sometime they waste their 1 year. This is the
Thank you.
situation.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji. So I can see some questions. So Manik has a question for you. Manik ji has a question for you. Bilingual aspect as how native languages are relevant, and is there a difference between vernacular mediums and English?
See, language is such a thing that only child can understand in the mother tongue. In other country, you will find such problem. This is other thing. India is a vast country. So many languages are there, but so many languages are enriched here. We can have dictionary. See, in the process of, in the time of crisis, only you shout in your mother tongue. In my vicinity, many drivers and the situation is like this: a maid, a press wala, the lower worker who do not speak at all English at home, they want to send their ward to the English medium school. All the time the child is not able to express their views. He is all the time translating from his language to the English to speak. So when he is not able to express the view, how will the development takes place? All the time he is mentally busy translating thoughts into the language, and he is not able to do it. Then he is in the, means, again some complexes. I am lacking something. Means I don't know when from India this situation will be over, that if you do not know English, you are not less intelligent. If you do not know English, it doesn't mean you have less knowledge. So this myth should go away. You should be able to express yourself in your own language. When we go in foreign, in the seminars, conferences, the chair is provided with so many language. Means suppose the lecture is going on in the Spanish, and in your chair you have the points. You can listen in the language you like. 5-6 languages are there. You can simultaneously it is being translated, and means continue the this lecture is going on in Spanish. If you want, you can listen in English, you can listen in any other language. So when you are going to compete with the world, then you will have to generate world class facility. It cannot happen that we won't give the facility and we want to compete the world.
Thank you so much, Professor Sushma ji, for answering the question. Now let us move to another question, which comes from Rohit Sinha ji. Hi, Professor Shushma ji. How willingness to compromise should be one of the traits of personality development.
Because I have told you, na, adjustment. Everything cannot be as per your wish. So if you don't learn, compromise doesn't mean in the bad sense. It is like, suppose you don't have food of your choice, clothes of your choice, you compromise on that day. So this willingness to compromise is related to the adjustment. In our family, you tell me one relation where you have not to compromise. We have to compromise with our brother, with our sister, with our spouse, with our parents, with everyone, with our children. So if we don't compromise, if we don't adjust, then life cannot be possible. So many marriages are breaking because they are not compromising anything. They are not being taught to compromise. And in the marriages, especially, people know that we can take divorce. In other relation, they do not know. You cannot say, I don't want this sister, I want this sister. You cannot say, I don't want. Parents may be good or bad, but if you don't like your parents, you can't say, I will change my mother, I will change my father. No option. But in marriage, it is shown that you have an option. So that whenever there is some problem, only this option comes in the mind. That we should, if there is some serious problem, I think only cause of breaking marriage should be extramarital affair, no other thing. Or other family problem. Adjustment is compromise in some way.
Okay.
So in villages, when they go, they see how people are compromising with the situation, with the family, with the available resources, what they have. They are always, so when they learn that they are surviving in those conditions, they learn there how to compromise. These personality traits are developed most. In villages, you will find very less problem of these, what I told you, suicidal attempt, depression. You will find hardly any person because they are good in interpersonal relation. They are good in adjustment. If they don't get food of their choice, they will have whatever they have, they will have it.
So Rohit Sinha ji has a cross question for you, Sushma ji. So he says ki is domestic violence, for example, like a movie was released, if you have heard this movie, Thappad. So there one woman, the guy went up to slap uh, his wife and then the divorce happens. So do you think that Thappad is one of the can be considered as one of the keynote so that divorce can be filed or the divorce should be there? So is extramarital affair the one thing to file a divorce case, etc.?
Actually, I have not seen the movie. So I do not know in what situation this thappad was. I think, but the husband-wife was having good relation before that or not?
Yes, they were having good relations.
So if a person has that, see, now thappad is wrong. Beating and domestic violence, never it will be supported. Neither it is rooted in our culture. In our culture, beating a woman is unimaginable. So the thappad which has come, it must be due to some other impacts. Because only in Indian culture, Nari is worshipped. And we say, यत्र नारेस्य पूजन्ते रमन्ते तत्र देवता. जहाँ नारी की पूजा होती है वहां देवता रहते हैं. ये सिर्फ हमारे कल्चर में कहा गया है. किसी और के कल्चर में ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. Adversity you will see in other culture which are not worth mentioning here, but you can see in the society how the women are treated in other culture. So emotion में आके तो people can do the suicide also. So if we know the story behind the thappad, and the husband also, I think, did not justify that he slapped the wife. He also regretted after that. Suppose the husband would have done suicide, then is it reversible process? Thappad is bad. But if he is saying sorry, if she felt bad in front of those many people, so in front of all those people, he should clarify why I did this. This is my mistake. I will not do it again. So she should understand the husband also. If the person is feeling guilty, if he is saying, no, I was right, I slapped you, I will do it again, that's okay. That is very bad. Then no purpose of staying together. But if he is feeling bad, he is finding his mistake. In the rag of anger, people do suicide. That is irreversible. He slapped. So he can say sorry in front of all these people. If he can come over this guilt, then I think she can think of forgiving him. Because in our society, if you again marry, either you remain alone, then also so many psychological problems arise. If you again get married, there is no guarantee you will find person of your choice. How many times you will take divorce? How many times you will test somebody? At least the person is feeling guilty. Your respect is maintained. If your respect is maintained, then you can go on. This is my view. Actually, nowadays in India, एक होती है नारी स्वतंत्रता और एक नारी स्वच्छंदता. So these two things should be clarified to the female. Swami Vivekananda has said that you cannot create quality of a bull in a cow and you cannot create quality of cow in a bull. Man has different quality, women has different quality. Equality not possible. Why equality not possible? Because all these good traits, patience, dhairya, vivek, all these, they are already more in women. So why you need to be equal? You are always at the higher place. Suppose woman is getting married and going to other place. It is like uprooting a tree and planting it at a different place. So in every culture, because women are tolerant, and tolerance is a higher quality. They are tolerant, hence they are going to other place after marriage. Had the man would be going to other place, he will not be able to survive because he doesn't have that quality of tolerance. Generally, women are going. अगर लड़कियां जाती हैं शादी के बाद, अगर लड़के शादी के बाद जाने लगे, तो आधी शादियां पहले ही टूट जाएंगी. They will not be able to adjust. So woman is having higher qualities. So she don't need to come to equality. And now the school have agreed that in the primary education, love, affection, only a woman can give to the child. This is not possible by a man. He tries his best, but it is not in his basic nature. So that is why women are preferred in the school to work with the children.
Thank you, Sushma. So do you think there is a push across social media and across pop culture of divorce, of equality? Egalitarianism is considered a god nowadays. So this is also, so do you think, there is a major push of external forces or through social medias of, that let's file a divorce, let's do everything a man does?
Yes. I think people are not understanding, people not helping to understand each other. If they are given ample time to understand each other, then I was reading a case yesterday where the husband, wife, they wanted a divorce and husband was sick and he had a heart attack and he was taken to the doctor. So doctor could not find any reason that such a young person of 30-31 years, how he is getting heart attack and everything is normal. No report is observed, means no reason of divorce. So he called his wife and he said, for 3 months, you just bring him to my clinic holding his hand. For 3 months, she brought the husband to the clinic holding hand and they they took back their case of divorce. So in some cases, the society, the people around are also forcing them to take divorce. Means they should help them to understand better each other. Only counseling can help it.
So, Professor Sushma ji, so you must have heard. So yesterday, the case of the marital rape law was again in the limelight. So again, marital rape. So many are in support of marital rape law and many are against it. So the people who are against the marital rape law is their concern is basically
I am very much surprised as the downfall of the means humanity.
Hmm,
Marital rape, the situation should not have arrived in our country at least. Because any person who has got some humanity in him will not force a woman, even his
hmm,
wife, for against her wish. Atmosphere should be such that it should be agreement from both the sides. So
hmm,
this is a very sad situation that this law has to be brought up. This is very ugly situation.
hmm,
And in that situation means so much complex nature that means husband have their own argue that they want to fulfill their need. In India, many Rishi Muni, they had sex only to have the children.
hmm,
In our culture, sex was not considered as a means of entertainment.
hmm.
And they were living happily their life. Brahmacharya, indriyon ka control, these things have to be taught since beginning. Our whole culture is polluted. It is poisoned since beginning. Since beginning, I am surprised to see that is even unmarried youth, sex is not a taboo for them nowadays. The age which was in our Puran, 25 साल में शादी हो जानी चाहिए. Now, after getting late marriage, the problem of childbearing is coming. Lot of people you will see at the fertility center, there is a queue. Because childbearing age, they don't marry at the childbearing age. So if we go against our nature, in nature, when the nature gives you fertility at the age of 18, 20, let you be completely physically developed completely, and then the natural process must start. Because playing with nature is paying means playing with nature, showing havoc in the environment, and this is showing havoc in our personalities and in our homes. Whenever we
So,
play with the nature, we don't go according to the nature, problems arises. And this is also arises in the family.
Professor Sushma Mishra ji, let me again come to this. It can get controversial, but let's put this question. So the question is related to feminism, the rise of feminism in India. Now, since we know that there are four phases or four waves of feminism: first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. So uh, the fourth wave, so feminism, proceeds every wave proceeds each other. For example, if nowadays you must have heard the term pseudo feminist or
Pseudo
feminazis.
feminist.
So don't you think this is an internet point term? Because
Can
why
you
I
explain me this pseudo feminism?
ha
Means
ha
who are not
so,
actually feminist.
so actually what happens, for example, you must have heard about the free the nipples movement that is going on in America, in the Western countries.
I
But
didn't came across what you
okay,
are
so
saying.
it's free the nipples movement. So it's basically
Free the nipple. Okay, means they
ha
don't want to wear some inner clothes.
since men can show their chest easily, so they don't have any restrictions. So women should also not have any restrictions. That the basic premise on which this
Hmm.
free the nipples movement is based on. So if you ask a feminist from Western countries, they will most probably they will agree with this movement, and many celebrities and etc. have endorsed these movements, right? But if you come to India, then many of self-claimed feminists will tell you that no, these are exaggeration. These are pseudo-feminists which are supporting this movement because they are not able to digest that particular movement. Because in India, the feminism are in the is in the second and the third phase. It has not reached the fourth phase, but it will reach the fourth phase. This is the nature of feminism, right? That it reaches the fourth phase, it proceeds each phase. So it will reach the fourth phase after 20 years. Since the internet is there, I guess the span will be very low. So do you think that feminism is some kind is is kind of a dangerous for a country. We eulogize, no doubt. Women empowerment needs to be eulogized, but should feminism be eulogized? Because at the end of the day, it's in a span of 20 years, we will see that feminism destroying the society like it's doing in West. I'm
No,
not.
we should take we
I'm
should
not.
take for its see, in tribal they don't wear anything on the top, that is in their culture, and nobody finds it vulgar. You must have seen in very tribal area. So it all depends on the culture in which you have been brought up. If you go to those tribes, these women, they are not wearing anything on the top, and nobody sees vulgarity in that. So I think these women, which in India saying pseudo feminism, you are saying, and they are opposing it, they are not able to digest it right now because their mind is accustomed of feminism in some manner. They have not accepted it. And I think for this, when you cannot force an adult, if your body is covered and you're not wearing anything inside, it's up to you. Then you cannot force anybody. If a lady is prepared that she will not wear anything inside, I think in foreign country also they are wearing something on their body. Only the inner clothes are missing. So if you are covering your body, here also many old lady in villages, they don't wear any inner clothes, but they don't make a hue and cry. They cover their body properly. So I think
not only, it's not only related to clothes, etc. For example, many a times feminism is being questioned for the anti-family nature. So this is also, one of the criticisms against feminism.
Yes, the family structure, anything which destroys family structure is bad for the society. Because you cannot be free everywhere. Like we are going on the road, you say I am free, you just lie down on the road. Can you do it? You are obstructing others' freedom. So in the family structure, if something is destroying our family structure, then it should be prohibited, in my view. We cannot be a society like this where no norms are there for nobody. Then there is no no control of the society. Then where is the civilized society we are living in? Civilized society means you take care of everybody's emotions, everybody's sentiments. So if everybody is left free, then we don't say that we are living in a civilized society. Then you better go to tribes. It's living means living in the nature. So civilization has separated nature from us. And if you want to live in a civilized society, you will have to behave like a civilized person.
Professor Sushma ji, so the thing is, yes, it needs to be prohibited, but the thing is, how many laws can we make? For example, feminism goes into the societal levels, right? So it is not something which can be controlled by laws. I personally think so. It might differ.
It cannot be controlled by laws.
For example, let me tell you something. So feminism is inversely proportional to the birth rates. If you find, the more feminism is there in the society, the less the birth rates are there. It is very much, so now you might argue that someone might argue that yes, feminism is needed since the birth rates in India are quite high, but we don't analyze birth rate in the whole system. We need to analyze birth rates in particular communities, right? We need to analyze. So if you are looking at India, if a community has so the nature of different communities are different, right? So every community won't be uniform in accepting feminism. So if a community is accepting feminism wholeheartedly, then the birth rates will fall. Likewise, if a community is not accepting feminism, I'm not naming any community, but there are communities where feminism rates are way too low. Feminism is also controlled through religious texts
Yes.
where the religion is very much orthodox and they are very much controlled, then the feminism rates are very low.
Hmm.
So actually, if some community, for example, if the majority community goes on to accept feminism wholeheartedly, we might find the birth rates going low of majority community, and it is going high. It might go high in the case of minorities, right? So this is also, matlab, this feminism can also change the social discourse, and so it is one of the matlab,
Here, what
concerns.
I feel, we should have the family structure training from the home, training of the home since beginning. Our children grow up, we don't teach them anything about our religion, about our culture, about our means faith, belief, and then we say they are not listening us, they are doing this, they are doing. So fault lies in your family. We will have to tell our families that go to your roots first, cultural roots. Some community which you are talking, they are teaching their children since beginning their culture, their everything. And in our major community, we are not teaching them anything. Nowadays, this feeling that we were feeling backward if we are learning about our culture, our customs. Now this feeling is going away a little bit. Slowly and gradually, this is going away. Now, this major community have started feeling pride in their culture. This is just the beginning. So this is also happening. And let us hope for the good, and situation will not be so ugly as you are imagining. I think if we try to do our efforts since beginning, because whatever progressive the person is, he don't want this type of feminism in his family right now. So if we start since beginning that this situation is going to become like this, so you have to start from here. My son is in US. In US, they are having Gita classes for the children, and everybody is sending. Here, no one cares. When you go away from your roots, then you want to be attached to your roots. And when you are here, you just don't take care of your culture and this thing. I was in the IIT's cultural program, and I was surprised to see that ladies do not even know the characters of Mahabharata and character of Ramayana separately, because we have not been taught in that way. And they were asked question in the quiz. They were taking name of Bharat and Shatrughan in Mahabharata. So this is the situation in our country. For the educated family, those who are bookish education is there, degree is there, but no this knowledge. This is height of the ignorance for the culture.
Thank you. So since we are running out of time, we can only take one question that is coming from Animitra Chakravarti. So religion is the manifestation of divinity already in men. Swami Vivekananda said this, and is the present educational system apt enough to attain this Vedic objective?
Only few schools. Few schools have started. Most of them are lacking. This we are trying. I am also related to the Vivekananda Kendra Kanyakumari. We are trying our best that this should be inculcated in the schools, but the अभी तो ऊंट के मुंह में जीरा के बराबर efforts हुए हैं. Efforts has to be done to attain this. If we go back to our Gurukul system, the education which was there before Britishers, we had more schools, more Gurukul education system was more strong. They are the culprit who spoiled our system. Every village had the Gurukul, and every child was getting education as per their requirement. Degrees may not be there, but education and degree are two different things. Even villages, our forefather, which didn't have the degree, they were more educated than us in some senses. So this divinity of our culture It has to be, and this only can save our country. Nothing else. What I feel.
Thank you so much, Sushma ji. And since we are running out of time, we won't be able to take any other questions. So thank you, Professor Sushma Mishra ji, for coming and enlightening us. So we had a good discussion. Across everything, we also delved into feminism too. So also thank you to the audience too for patient listening. And we will be back again with some enlightened speaker who will enlighten us. And again, a special thanks to Professor Sushma Mishra ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the patience hearing. And I also got some clue from you. And I am also inclined to read all about this pseudo feminism and all this.
Yeah.
These are really very bad for the country. Very bad situation.
First. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Sushma ji, and thank you to the audience. Namaste. We'll meet again. Namaste.